is the first time I'm doing this on Facebook Live. I'm really excited. But we are in the Toyota Green Room with Refinery 29 co-founder and executive creator director, Bianna. Great to have you here. This is obviously a live interview, so we're going to have people coming and going. You're going to hear all the backgrounds of what happens.
This is real
on
life,
morning
people.
news show. But we want to talk more about our discussion this morning, because I think Refinery 29 really focused on an issue that is prevalent throughout society. 67% of society identifies themselves as plus size, at size 14 or larger.
Yeah.
And they get maybe 1 or 2% of coverage in the media. That's shocking.
Yeah, it's really shocking. You know, when we learned that, we were, we were really surprised at that great divide between, 67% of the population being 14 up, media and advertising only representing them 1 to 2%. And, it's really this invisible majority that is not, we're leaving so many women behind in the stories that we're telling, in the images that we're showing. And we felt that was really detrimental to women's confidence and how they see themselves, because what we see around us and the stories that get told tell us what's valued in our society. And when you don't see yourself, when you don't see your story being told, when you don't see your image out there, it teaches you that you're not worthy. And I think that really chips away at people's confidence and their feelings of self-worth, and that really breeds shame.
When you don't see yourself represented, and you talk about subtle things like even casting in movies, right? You're the supporting character, you're never the lead role.
Yeah.
Somebody,
you're the funny friend.
You're
not the
friend.
protagonist.
Right. And even in cartoons, they talked about Ursula being overweight, sort of the villain is the size 14 or plus.
And that's the only character as a child that they saw
growing
that
up.
Plus size women see representing them in the cartoons, and that she's a villain.
Over the years, we've seen more plus size models really come to fame, right? And make a name for themselves and make a name for society and those they are representing. Has that had an impact thus far?
I think it's really interesting. I think, at Refinery 29, we started our company to sort of celebrate individuality and self-expression, and part of that was really showing a diverse and inclusive range of women in our content. And so I think, it's an interesting time, because also this, the millennial generation has come up with social media. They're able to insert their own images into the visual dialogue, which then broadens, who we're seeing in our media, and social media is arguably the media that we consume the most. So I think that's been interesting. We are seeing a conversation around body positivity. We're seeing more plus size models come to the forefront, but there's still a huge gap in who's being represented. And I'm always really surprised by it too, because the plus size fashion industry itself is a $20 billion potential market, and yet most plus size women, they can't go into a store and buy clothes in their size. They have these huge vast shopping deserts where there's nothing that they can buy. They have to go online or go to specialty stores. And I think also in media, it's so often been like the plus size issue, and they get one issue out of the whole year.
Like we covered it, check.
Check.
It's like you get a month and that's it. But it doesn't address the issue, though. How do you balance being accused of not focusing on good health and sort of equating being overweight with being unhealthy? How do you define overweight? I mean, I know that a lot of the women who portray themselves as plus size models, and a lot of millennials, do eat balanced meals, do exercise, do feel healthy, but they're not size 2.
Yeah. Well, I think, society